we learn about how you can manage your entire manufacturing life cycle in ACCU360. So in this video we will cover mostly the introductions of manufacturing modules, initial setup that you need to do before starting the production, bill of material creation, production planning, and work order. Okay, so in ACCU360 is a very powerful ERP for handling the entire manufacturing process. It gives you so many flexibility. If you have a simple kind of manufacturing units, then also you can do the productions. But even if you have the complex kind of manufacturing systems, like suppose for example, you need complex routing setups, stage wise, and the quality checks and everything, and also the serial number and warranty generations at the time of productions only, that also you can do it. Okay, so this video basically we are going to divide in a multiple stage. Like first one, we will just show you simple production. Suppose we have a particular bill of material, and we will just process it and just see how we do the how we receive the finished goods. Okay, so in this video we will also give you some introductions about manufacturing settings that you need to do and the workstation setup. So workstation is basically like the area that you have in your within your factory to perform some kind of operations that we used to call workstations, and the operations that we do in that workstation. And the routing is the final of the combinations of your workstations and operation, the stage that we used to define. Okay, so in workstations, we will also say it in software how does it work. The workstation, in workstation basically you have to define some parameters as in like the suppose if you run that workstations for 1 hour or 2 hours, or what will be the cost of that workstation. Suppose if you want to calculate the price by electricity, by labor, or whatever it is. Okay, so you can put some parameters there. If you use this workstation for hour, then this will be the cost. Okay, so whenever you use it in a bill of material, it will be calculated on overhead cost. Okay, so in this process, in this video we will see that how to create a simple bill of material. So here we are taking one example to create a bill of material for item 1, for example. Okay, and to produce item 1 we need two raw materials, that is raw material 1 and raw material 2. So let's do the production and see how we complete the cycle actually. Okay, and also in this production we will see how to create bill of material, and then the production planning, raw material issue, and receiving the finished goods. Okay, so here you can see that it will cover the entire cycle actually, right, starting from bill of material to the work order, and then planning for the stock, if I have the stock or not to produce the item. Even after that we can go to the work order. So okay, so once the work order is created, then how we can request raw material from the store, and we can take it to the floor or the work in progress, and after that how we can finish it up. Okay, so the flow that we will use here is that the first we will create the bill of material, then the production planning, then the production work order, then we will transfer the raw material to the floor, and then after that we will receive the finished goods. Okay, so in and the second video we will see that how to create, suppose if you have some items that need to be recorded, or you need to produce in serial number wise or batch number wise. Okay, so serial number wise is like suppose you are producing some mobile kind of electric vehicles or anything that where you need to maintain the serial number, and you want that serial number to generate automatically when you are finishing, when you are receiving the finished goods. Okay, and then likewise if you are receiving, if you are producing some FMCG product like food products or anything, medicines or anything where you need to maintain the batch. So how we will do the batch system and serial number system, and also the multi-level bill of materials. Okay, and also the outsource productions. Outsource production is like suppose you are doing, you are providing the entire raw material to someone, and they are giving you in a finished format. So that is called outsource production. And also we will see how to calculate the overhead costing and the scraps like the byproduct you can say, or the scrap anything. Okay, so in complex manufacturing process, here we have to maintain the serial number, uh, routing and routing wise raw material issue, assigning job cards to some employees, okay, who will perform the particular operation. So in the complex manufacturing we will discuss all this part. Okay, so suppose for example I'm taking the second case here. The first case was like here we have to there we have to produce one item, and there was two raw material. Okay, but in second case, this is the production, this is a second example. Suppose we need to produce a item we called a computer table. Okay, so in computer table, this is the furniture manufacturing, for example. Okay, and that furniture manufacturing basically divided into multiple stages. So first thing is that you need to cut the ply. So in the ply there is a different routing that is called cutting and the edge bend and then the hardware packing and then assembling. Okay, and company needs that whenever the cutting is going only related to cutting material, we should allow to take out from the store, and when the edge band is received, then we should only allow this edge band item to be delivered to floor. Okay, so basically company wants to divide the raw material per stage wise. Okay, and also we will see how we complete the stage wise all the stage, and then how we receive the finished goods in the routing systems. Okay, so in a complex manufacturing process, our process would be like the first we will create the bill of material, then production planning, and then the work order. Then from the work order, system will generate the job cards. Okay, sorry for the spelling. It will be job cards. Okay, and against the job card, we need to issue the raw materials. Okay, and once all the job cards are completed, then we will record some the timings that how long it took to finish the entire job cards and everything, and after that finally we will receive the finished goods. Okay, so in this video we will see a simple bill of material that is for the item 1, and also for the complex material that is for the computer table. Okay, so in this video you can just get the idea that how we can handle the complex from simple to complex scenarios. Okay. Okay, so now we will see how to do the production in AQ360. Okay, so in AQ360, manufacturing is a default module, so you do not have to worry about activating the modules and all. So in the menu, if you see, then you can just go to the manufacturing and you can see the module here only. Okay, so I will just go to the manufacturing module from here. Okay, so this window will open. Okay, so here you can see the first we have to set up some masters. Okay, and also there is a settings that you can follow. But to understand each and every fields and the functions of means like these menus and these settings, you can follow our documents. Okay, in the documentations you can see the entire all those part and what will the effect of after your configurations, everything that is well uh, defined there. Okay, and also if you get any confusing and if it is not working according to the video or the documentations that you have followed in our documentation in the videos, then we also have forum systems there. You can post some queries and we will try our best to answer you in a very short period. Okay, so let's now first understand what is workstations actually. Okay, so now let's create a workstation actually. Okay, so that you will have the better idea that how workstation work actually. Okay, so here you can see that I have to give the name of the workstation, so I'm giving cutting area actually. Okay, and consumable per hour cost is near about 100, and also these variables if you want to configure properly, then only do put the these values. Okay, otherwise what will happen when you use these workstations and doing the production, and in the job card if you're consuming any time, then the cost will be calculated in the production actually per minute wise or per hour wise, however you do the configuration. Okay, so whenever you are doing this kind of configuration, you make sure you are doing the proper consultancy with the AQ360 consultant. Okay, so here I'm using the rent per hour kind of 250 rupees. Okay, and the wages, if we use this workstation, then wages would be 500, and the electricity cost also would be 500. Okay, and also here we can define the holiday list. If you define the holiday list, then it will automatically calculate that holiday list with the resource planning. Okay, and also you can define the start time and end time kind of, so whenever someone is coming to do the work, so that at least they can have the idea that when I will have the workstations and what is the timing of that workstation. Okay, so this is it only. If you have to define, then this is the cost of per hour actually. Okay, for this cutting area workstation. Okay, so after the workstation you define, and then we will define the operation. So operation, you can have multiple kind of operation in the same workstations. Okay, but here I will just take it as a default as a cutting area, and here also I will give it cutting, or I will just give it as ply cutting. The operation is ply cutting. Okay, and in the same area I can do the ply cutting, I can do the steel cutting if my workstation is capable of. So you have to basically define the operations, that what operations you want to do in that particular workstation. Okay, and the final steps that we have to configure is the routing. Okay, so routing is basically related to, again you have to give the name is like ply cutting. Okay, the routing is ply cutting, for example, stage. So here we have to define the operation, and that is ply cutting and the workstation automatically. So here you can see that the operation cost per hour wise it is auto calculated, but we know that to cut a ply we do not need 1 hour time. Actually we can do it in 15 minutes. So here all the time that you define is in minute, actually minutes. Okay, so suppose I'm taking it as a 10 minutes. Okay, so 10-minute cost would be like this. Okay, so here these are the basic setups that you have to do before starting your production. Okay, and also the workstations, here I have defined the workstation that is only one, but in real scenario there are multiple workstation that you have to define actually. Okay, and also the workstations wise you can see the operations and the work, what is going on the current scenario and all these things. You can track all these reports actually. Okay, so I will not get more deeper into the complex part. So let's first complete a normal manufacturing process first. Okay, so as we discussed earlier that here we will create a bill of material for the item one. Okay, that is that already my item is created, but again I will show you how to create the bill of material. Okay, to create the bill of material you just have to go to the manufacturing and then just select the bill of material, and before creating the bill of material make sure that your items are properly created. Okay, so in this video we are not going to touch the item creations and inventory part, but we recommend you to you make sure that your items are properly created and you have stock. Okay, and to create the bill of material I just have to go to bill of material. Okay, and then I'm disabling this one because this is already created, I'm putting it as inactive. Okay, so it will be not active anymore. Okay, so I will create a new one. Okay, for the same item I will select the item one. So this is the parent item basically, to which item actually I need to produce. Okay, and also here you can see that you can connect this bill of material to your project and to your sales order also. Okay, and if you have to define this as a sub bill of material, and if you want to allow alternative of your raw materials, then you have to keep check this button. Suppose if, how raw materials work, suppose I'm giving you here the raw material one. Okay, the source warehouse would be from store, the quantity I need for the raw material one is 2, for example, to produce this one item. Okay, and the RM1 2 I'm taking, and this item I need 3 item to produce one item. Okay, but if you allow if you think that your company need to allow alternative item instead of this item, if the stock is not available, then you have to keep check this allow alternative item, otherwise system will not allow you to take the alternative item instead of this two item. It will be fixed that you cannot change the item. But if you want that if you think that we need that kind of flexibilities, then you can keep it check. Okay, otherwise keep it as it is only. Okay, and also if you want to have a quality check in your production process and everything, you can keep it quality check box, and after that you define the parameter. But in this video we are not going to touch this one. In the second video we will discuss all this part. Okay, so to define a simple bill of material you just need this two part only: the item, which item you want to produce, and what are their raw materials. Okay, and from which store it will take the inventory. Okay, and also if you think that you, when you are doing the production of this item, you will receive some scrap or byproduct kind of, then you can define the byproduct here only. Okay, so but in this case we are not going to touch this byproduct or the scrap. We will just finish up with the simple one. Okay, so here I will just save and submit it. Okay, so here you can see the price that we have here system has calculated, it is from the last purchase rate actually. Okay, or the last valuation rate. We can also do the valuations from the last purchase or the price list and the valuation rate. Valuation rate is like, suppose you are taking you have given the manual valuation rate actually. Okay, from there also you can have multiple valuation rate system. Okay, that how you want to calculate the cost price actually. Okay, so now as per our flow, the bill of material is created. So now I will put this one in the production planning. Okay, so to do the production planning you need to go to the production plan. Okay, so here I already have production plan. I will delete this. So I'm going to create a new production plan, and to do the production planning, two things that you have to maintain properly, that whatever the production planning that you are going to do for whichever item, you have to make sure that bill of material is created for that item. Without bill of material you cannot do the production planning. Okay, so here you have to select the date for which date you want to do the planning. I'm taking it today, I'm creating the video, so I'm just taking date as today. Okay, and also I can do the production planning for the sales, or from the sales order, and also from the material request if I have the internal demand system. Okay, but I'm not going to touch this one right now. I will just show you yeah, I will just show you how to create a simple planning. Okay, so I'm just selecting the item to which item we have to produce. Okay, so bill of material is automatically coming, and here I have to give the quantity for how many quantity I want to plan the production. Okay, and also the warehouse that I have to select for which warehouse I want to produce. Okay, so after giving this basic data, if you save it, okay, then after that you have to give the warehouse. Okay, and you want to calculate the raw materials, actually whether I have sufficient stock available or not for doing the production. Okay, so here you can see after selecting the warehouse, it automatically saying that I have a sufficient stock to produce this much quantity. Okay, but what if I select the different warehouse? Suppose for example, if I select the Finnish warehouse, and if I get raw metal, then here you can see that it's a required quantity, so I need this much quantity to produce this 10 number of item. Okay, but if I select the raw material in my store, then I can I can see that system is saying that already I have sufficient stock in my warehouse. Okay, so I do not have to go to the material request or anything, or I do not have to do the planning. Okay, but I'm keeping it as okay. So suppose if I ignore, so I want to ignore the current project quantity calculations and everything. I just need the calculations with that, how much stock that available in my store, and what are the stock projections quantities. Okay, so I will just click this one, and I will check click this one. Okay, then after that, here you can see that the projected quantity is this much only, and the actual quantity also this much. So I just, the required quantity is 20 and 30. That's why it is saying that we do not have to worry about the stock. The stock is already sufficient. Okay, so now I will just save it and I will submit it. Okay, so now here you can see that the production planning is also done, so we also know that we have the sufficient stock, so we can do the production only. Okay, so from here we can go to the material request, which is not required now because I already have sufficient stock. So here, from here I will go directly to the work order. Okay, so here I will click the work order. So this, in this pop-up you can see that work order is created. Okay, so I'm just clicking this. So now you can see that work order is already created. Okay, so that this work order is in draft. So if I have to change anything, any settings, suppose if I want to change the source warehouse from where I have to take the stocks and all, then I can do the changes. Okay, and also this is a work order basically. To go to work order, you can just go to the manufacturing, and from here also you can access work order directly. Okay, so when I'm clicking the work order, then you can see some of the additional fields that is coming in the work order. That is alternative items, sub bill of material, skip material transfer to the work in progress. Basically this is related to the backflush production method actually. Okay, so if you do not want to have this transfer or the work in progress mechanism, then you can just click it here. So it will not ask you to transfer the stock, and it will not it will basically minimize one step, the transferring from the raw material warehouse to floor. Okay, so if you have the backflush method, that we will cover in the next video, and that we will cover all the advanced systems. Okay, so as of right now, we just get the idea that in ACCU360 you can have the entire systems like the backflush mechanism, material multi-level bill of materials, all this kind of. Okay, and also you can connect this particular work order with your sales order also, if you are particularly doing this production for a particular sales order for a particular customers. Okay, so here we have to give the work in progress warehouse and the finished goods. Okay, so for this production we will do this much only, and we will save it now. And after the save, we have to submit. And then now the second step that now the bill of material is created, the planning is done, this is the work order that is created. Okay, so now we want to do the production, we want to start the production basically. So here you can see that the work order is already in, is not started stage. Okay, so now we have to do the transfer of the stock. Okay, so here if we click the start, then system will ask that for how many items you want to start the production. Okay, but for this sample video we are creating for the 10 only. If you want to reduce it to the 5, then also we can do, and the remaining 5 will be in the pending, but in this case we are doing the entire production. Okay, so here I will just select the, so after this you can see that from the production order the window is opening, that is stock transfer actually, is material transfer for manufacturing. Okay, so basically this is the stage that where you have to connect your floor team and the your store team. Okay, this basically the stock transfer that you are doing, mostly it is done by a storekeeper. Okay, so storekeeper only have to issue the item if they have any work order available in their record, or else they will not allow anyone to take the stock. So this is the part of workflow that how you want to define it. Okay, so here you can see from the work order we jump directly to the material uh, stock entry. Okay, so now we are doing the transfer of the stock, raw materials basically. Okay, so once the raw material is transferred, if you go to the work order, then you will see that this is in progress, so the work is started actually. Okay, so this is a basic system, otherwise we could have some other things like the job cards and all, but in this case we are just doing the bill of material, planning work order, then issuing the raw materials and receiving the finished goods. Okay, so now finished good date is also done. So here you can see after means like transferring the material, okay, raw material, we have another option, that is material consumption. Okay, so consumption is like, suppose for example, if you want to give like the record that how much item that we have consumed till now, but the production is not completed, in between that if you have to give the reports, okay, that we are closing the factory today, but this is the consumption report, tomorrow again we will continue. So here you can see that here is a two field, there is a required that is coming directly from the this quantity multiplied by bill of material quantity. Okay, and the transferred here, here you can see that we have transferred almost 20 and 30 only, the almost everything is consumed, means like transferred. Okay, but it is not consumed, the entries in the back end is like just a transfer from the store to work in progress warehouse. Okay, but now suppose for example, just assume that we already done the production and we just need to finish it up. Okay, so then here is option for the finish, or if it is in the midway, but we have to give them the calculation that how much item we have consumed. Okay, then you can give the consumable entries only. Okay, but we are not going to do this entry, we will just finish it up and we will finish receive the finished goods also. Okay, so in this scenario we will just press the finish button. Okay, the moment we click the finish button, here you can see that again it is asking that how many quantity you have completely produced. Okay, so I'm taking it as 10 only. Okay, so again it is coming to the stock entry, so this time the entry type is little different, that is manufacture. So in this entry, in the single entry, the item will be consumed and we will also receive the finished goods. Okay, so suppose for example, if you have any changes, suppose you have not consumed the entire items, instead of 20 you consumed only 19 and your production is done, then you can change this quantity actually. Okay, but all those are different calculations and all, so we will not cover in this part, in second part we will cover it up. Okay, so right now we will keep it simple so that at least you can understand the flow, that how ACCU360 manufacturing module work actually. Okay, so now we just finish it up. So this is coming for the serial number, so you just ignore this one. Okay, so now the entire production system is completed. Okay, so if I have to check the stock report or the accounting ledger, so from here I can go to the stock ledger. Okay, so here you can see in the stock ledger that these are the raw material that we have consumed from work in progress, and this is the item that we have received. Okay, and also you can see the valuations calculations. Okay, how the valuation calculation is done. Okay, and also you can see that my default currency is actually is in UAE, so that's why this is in Arabic it is coming. Okay, so in your case it will be your default currency only. Okay, as per your country. So hope you got the idea, means how the production module actually work in AQ360. Okay, so now you can see this is completed. Okay, so in AQ360 we have handled so many complex cases like the textile industries, we have handled manufacturing of furnitures, medicine industries, and the jute manufacturing companies, cycle manufacturing, electric vehicles manufacturing. So we have the capacity to do any kind of cases. Okay, but also it depends on how you do the implementation. In AQ360 you can do the same product in multiple way implementation. Okay, so in this video we will close it up till here only, so that you get the idea that how, means like the flow of the manufacturing module in AQ360 work. I hope you got the idea that how production method work in AQ360. Okay, and in the second video we will see how, suppose for example, if you have some client, those who need a requirement like they need to maintain the serial number, and also they need to consume the raw material serial number wise. Okay, they have part numbers, sub part numbers, all this kind of, then you can, how you will handle all those scenarios, we will cover it up in next video. Okay,